Welcome back to another Sebastian story. We're back at it again, telling our sweet boy's story. And of course, he's our Cane Corso Italiano. He was rescued a few years back and has just been growing up and just doing amazingly well. We just couldn't be more proud of this sweet little boy here. And of course, I use, little facetiously. He's pretty tough now. He's got a lot of mass on him, and he's just doing great. And we really couldn't be more proud of how well he's grown and the polite young man he's developed to be. And of course, we've got our sleeping little Luna Petunia down here, our Cane Corso and Great Dane mix. She came home beginning of last summer, and she has been growing and doing just as well. And these two have developed a relationship that it was all we could have dreamed of having with these two. They adore each other. They play with each other all day, every day. And I mean, it's everything we could have ever hoped for. And our story for this week is doing our 3.5-year update for our sweet boy Sebastian. He came home. He was a rescue from Atlanta Humane, and unfortunately, the first 6 months of his life were pretty nasty, and it's issues that are still with him, unfortunately. He had an injured paw that no one had ever mended, so that's part of our rescue story with him is making sure that he gets to grow up and be able to use and play with that paw as best as he can. And he'll be doing physical therapy for the rest of his life as a result. And thankfully, he loves it. It's a special treat for him every single week when he gets to go and see Dr. Amy and everybody that works at the facility. He adores them all. And it's really wonderful for him. And as you can see, he's grown into quite the handsome young man, and he's just doing great. And our first talking point with Sebastian and Cane Corso after 3.5 years of him growing and 3 years at home is maturity. Unfortunately, the AKC has not done me a solid. I had learned this from their website originally, but their website has been updated. Cane Corso takes 4 full years to develop and mature both physically and mentally and emotionally. And Sebastian has followed that to a T. Again, unfortunately, their website no longer describes any maturity info. But nevertheless, that's where I had learned that number from originally. And Sebastian continues to fill out his emotional maturity. I mean, he has just been 110 pounds of muscle as with the mindset of a puppy all of this time. And that's no lack of training on our part. It's, we've got to make sure he's manageable, of course. And he had been going out in public quite regularly. Of course, some things going on in the world kind of made that a little bit more difficult, if not impossible. But nevertheless, we've been able to keep him going and making sure he's as socialized as he can be and gets along with plenty of other dogs out there, regardless of the size, and children he adores. But there's no denying that you will keep growing up. You will keep waking up and finding a larger dog in your home on an almost daily basis. Some aspect, maybe he gets just a hair taller or a hair wider or a hair longer, or his head will be a little bit extra blocky that day, that kind of thing. But it is truly a remarkable experience to watch them grow so slowly and so steadily. But it comes with the caveat of this is a puppy that wants to run around and prance and play all day, every day. And even at almost 4 years of age now, he's 3.5, it hasn't slowed down. He may prefer and cherish his sleep a little bit more than he did when he first came home. But nevertheless, I still maintain that is a very true characteristic of the breed, and is something that any prospective Cane Corso lovers will want to keep in mind, that there is a whole lot of work keeping these little puppies entertained and exercised every single day. And that'll be our second point, is exercise. If you ever have to be worried about going to the gym or things like that, well, you can probably go ahead and quit it, because if you take these dogs on full time, they exercise you. I do not exaggerate when I say they need a minimum of 4 hours per day of exercise: running, walking, playing, chasing, fetching, exploring. They're incredibly intelligent animals. They can read people in very well. It's something that you have to be ready and prepared for and capable of providing for them. That these are not couch potatoes. They do not get stuffed in a kennel when you're at work during the day. These are working dogs. They want to be on a farm protecting livestock, that sort of thing. That's what they were bred to do after they came home from being dogs of war during the Roman Empire. And one point I do want to continue to make is the size of these dogs. I think there's a big misconception out there, and YouTube hasn't really been a great beacon of facts for this, but Cane Corso is not a giant breed. These dogs do not get up to 150 pounds. That is not a true Cane Corso, and you can see it in the way the dogs carry themselves. There is a grace to how these dogs move, whether they're playing or simply walking. They are nothing but muscle, and they're very sturdy and very stout, but even at 110 or 118 pounds, Sebastian can throw himself like he weighs nothing. And he can do this for very long periods of time, and that is what holds the larger dogs back. The Neapolitan Mastiff, that is descended of the Molosser as well, just more recently. The Cane Corso is an older breed, and I think that's where a lot of people get a misconception. They see a lot of Neapolitan Mastiff mixes or foals that are being touted as Cane Corso, and those dogs would not be able to keep up with a true Cane Corso. Their bulk, their mass, precludes them from being able to do that. They have a lot more relaxed time during the day and a lot more sleep, and so while they can certainly be more imposing because of how large they are, when you see the muscle build on this guy, I mean, look at his chest. It's sticking out an extra 3 inches under his chin there, with how much bulk he's gained this year playing with Luna. It's all muscle. There is no fat. There's nothing there to pinch. It is outrageous. And I do not expect him to really gain any more weight, because he is pretty well full grown at this point. Again, 4 years to maturity. He's at 3.5 here, and he's doing perfectly. And another thing we found with Sebastian and our Cane Corso collective here, our family, is that is an essential ingredient with these dogs, is that they are truly family. I never refer to myself as a dog owner. I don't believe in that mindset. I do not consider myself an owner of another living being. And that's how these dogs will treat you as well, is that you are their family. They love you, and you have to approach them always with love in your eyes and in your heart. It's these dogs want to cherish you as their family, and that is where the Corso, the protector, the guardian aspect of them comes through, is they develop such an intimate relationship with their family that they really cannot stand being separated from you for any length of time. And that's something you have to be able to work with, but also you need to be able to provide them that kind of safe and secure place for them to always be. And this is my home, this is my base, and my instinctual job is to protect this and my family. And you need to make sure that they're always greeted with love and that they're always treated with love, because you certainly don't want to upset these dogs. Making a Cane Corso mad is not really a safe thing to do. Go figure, but nevertheless, these dogs just have a passion that I've worked with a lot of breeds. I've done a lot of rescue work and assistance with with foster homes. I've never found a breed that is this passionate about their family and about how they want to love and care for their family and their home. And it's something that you really have to be able to respect as their family member, that this is a dog that wants to absolutely cherish you and is relentless about it. They are absolutely relentless. when people come over, they are all up in those people's business. And there's a certain amount of training that can be done with that, and part of it is just simply how they are. And now with Sebastian, he is a rescue. He is so desperate to please and get approval of people that it can be obnoxious, because sometimes he just does not let up. And unfortunately, that's just a nature of him. He's been through a lot of things in his short life, and we work with it as best as we can. Whereas Luna, being part Cane Corso and Great Dane, she's much more standoffish. She really wants to get to know you first. Hi, honey. She really wants to get to know people before she can trust them, before she'll even let them touch her. So she's a bit of the opposite in that, and she's just a wonderful girl. I'm so proud of how well she's growing up too. She was just a tiny little 5-10 pound puppy when she came home, and now she's 90 pounds. And again, it's nothing but muscle. You can see in the videos of them playing, she is significantly smaller in size than him. She's almost as tall now, but somewhere in there's 30 extra pounds makes that much of a difference between her stature and Sebastian's. And with feeding for these dogs, you have to have a very high quality food. We use Science Diet, and that's our kibble. They of course make a large breed formula, which does help, especially for the puppy stage. You don't want to encourage rapid growth with the large and giant breeds, because that will almost always lead to joint issues, and things you just don't want to have. You want to make sure they grow at a good steady rate. And again, with Cane Corso, and that taking 3 to 4 full years, it is a slow but steady process, and you want to make sure that they're being fed a very high protein diet to go along with that. And so we mix theirs with a variety of canned foods. We're trying a few right now. And of course, if you've seen any of our cooking videos, we will also cook meat for them. We'll find whole chickens and roast those for them. We've been doing pork lately. You know, it's fun for the whole family, because you can also cook for the entire family. You can make delicious meals that everybody, including your sweet dogs, your sweet Pappies, can eat. We call them Pappies. He was a flappy boy. He had huge ears for his head when he came home, and he'd roll over, and I'd say, he's a puppy, he's a floppy puppy, and we changed a vowel, and it became Flappy Pappy, and now all dogs are referred to as Pappies with us. And it's our term of endearment. And hi, honey. She's so sweet. I just adore her. And he's a little stoic right now. We did our physical therapy, and he's ready for his pup cup. We're going to go to Starbucks and get them their treats, and and that's exactly it. Those are just, occasional treats. Otherwise, they eat their food and their food only, with the exception of if I'm snacking on an apple. Apples are great for their digestion, and yours as well. I'll give them a piece of apple, a piece of carrot, simple things like that, that are not otherwise human food and processed and things like that. Just good, wholesome ingredients. Sweet potatoes, another example. These really wonderful things that are good for almost any dog, of course, according to your veterinarian. Always talk to your veterinarian if you're feeding or changing their diets. But nevertheless, there's lots of good things that you can enjoy with your dogs, because, again, they're family. And also, just another point is that these dogs just truly are a dedication. They require a lot of their family. They are persistent. They are relentless. When you're training them, there are some limitations to what you can accomplish with the Cane Corso, because unfortunately, again, Corso translates from Latin as guardian or protector. They are Italian guard dogs. That is an instinctive trait with them, and if they think their family's being threatened, no matter how well trained you think your dog is, you can probably throw that out the window if they ever feel like their family is truly being threatened. And you can lose control very quickly. And so that's where having full harnesses and good, strong, sturdy leashes becomes essential to protect your dog as well, to make sure that they stay safe. It's your family. You're working together on that, to making sure everybody gets to grow up and live in harmony. And my sweet Pappies now, we're gonna need a taller car here, I think. Get a conversion van or something. It is a dedication with having these animals around, because between the feeding, the exercise, the responsibility of making sure that these dogs stay safe and don't hurt themselves or others, it is a dedication that you have to make to ensure that they have the life that they deserve, and not just the one that you're kind of pegging them into of, nope, you're going to stay in this little kennel while I'm at work all day. You might need to have one person at home all the time to be able to take care of them. And thankfully, we're in a position that we're able to provide that. But these pappies, they're worth every bit of that. Having a relationship with dogs like this is just something my wife and I have never experienced before. It is something to cherish, and it is something to keep going. And I hope other people out there are able to enjoy this breed as much as we are. We adore them, we love them, and therefore we are also Cane Corso lovers, the Cane Corso Amorati. I can't overstate it. I know I'm being pedantic. I love my pappies, and I could not be more happy with how well they're growing together and learning together and developing together. And yeah, I mean, you see all these clips of them playing. I mean, this is them all day, every day. It's just incredible. And I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world, and I know they wouldn't either, because look at how happy they are, and how much he's always smiling, and how much she's been learning to smile too. As always, thank you so very much for watching. We're having a great time telling these stories, and we'll be back again soon with more. Thanks again!